Hi guys, I'm Rachel. Today we're starting a whole new series on the Bible, reading the Bible in 1 year. So I'll read the Bible with the help of the Bible Study by Zach Wendell. Here it is. I got it at sunday.com. I'll have the link down in the description. And then I have my Bible and this binder I created. Okay, so every week I'll upload a new video on the book I read. I'll talk about something I've learned or that I thought was important about that book. Then I'll let you know what my personal favorite verse from that book is. And then any questions that I had after reading that book. So I would love if down in the comments, you guys could answer my questions. Or if you had any questions, go ahead and list them down there. Let me know what your favorite verse from that book was or what you learned from that book. And then if we could make it a discussion thread down in the comment section, that would be amazing. Because disclaimer, I am not an expert. I'm just a Christian trying to grow in her relationship with Christ. I am so excited to do this series with you guys. I hope it encourages you or someone you know to pick up their Bible and read it. Because the Bible is one of the most owned but never read books in the world. So, before we waste any more time, let's fast forward and get to the book of Genesis. Hi guys, wow. I just finished reading Genesis for the Bible study review. It's really hard to read. It's slow. And did anybody else, when you read the Bible, kind of get fixated on Joseph, Jacob/Israel's son? Why did he tease his brother so much? Okay, and a question that was asked in the Bible study was, why were Abraham and Isaac willing to follow through with God's request? And if you're unfamiliar, it was God's request for Abraham to sacrifice his son, Isaac. So Abraham went up with Isaac and bound him in preparation to sacrifice him, or in less nice terms, kill him. But as Abraham was about to bring down the knife, God spoke to him and showed him a ram that he was to sacrifice in Isaac's place. And God did this because he was testing Abraham. So the question was, why were Abraham and Isaac able to go along with this to begin with? I don't have any children, but I have a dog and a cat. And if I heard God say, sacrifice your dog in my name, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I think that would be very difficult. But I think Abraham and Isaac were able to go through with this, or almost go through with it, because of their faith in God, and they trusted everything that God did. And God had provided for Abraham, just as he had said. So why would Abraham stop believing him in that moment? And this is something we need to take with us every day. He has provided for me and shown me his love my whole life. Why would I stop believing him this one time because he wants me to do something that I'm afraid to do? I mean, this is all over the world. God asks us to do things that are scary, and we don't know how to respond. Now, I'm no expert in theology, but I know we don't listen to God enough. My favorite Bible verse was, so Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, yet they seemed to him like a few days because of his love for her. It's Genesis chapter 29, verse 20. I like this verse the best out of Genesis because it seems like Jacob really loved Rachel before they got married, and he was willing to serve not just 7 years, but 14 years total after serving the first 7 for Leah. Now my questions. Question 1, Cain. Who did Cain marry? So Cain, if you're unaware, is one of 2 sons of Adam and Eve. Cain was the one who killed Abel. The question is, did he marry his sister? And Adam, who was never named in the Bible, Adam and Eve may have had many daughters, but only had Cain and Abel at the time. Now, we know in the Old Testament, women are not named frequently. So daughters aren't named often. So this is definitely plausible. It's definitely plausible because the other option is that Cain married some other woman in a far-off land. And the question for that is, what land and where did those other people come from? Did God create more communities after he created Adam and Eve? Now, maybe, and maybe Moses, the author of Genesis, maybe he just didn't name the other families that God created when he created creation. I don't know. So I looked it up, and a lot of scholars go both ways, but I think it's most likely that he married his sister. There wasn't any other, although we may not like to believe that he married his sister, I think he did. And my second question from Genesis is about Joseph. Joseph, the son of Jacob, who is the son of Isaac, who is the son of Abraham. So Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob, but he was the firstborn son of Rachel, Jacob's favorite wife. So Joseph was Jacob's favorite son. All the brothers knew about it. And Joseph's brothers were not happy about it. They knew that Jacob preferred Joseph over the rest of them. So the brothers plotted to get rid of Joseph. Now, some of them were, maybe we should kill him, but they ultimately decided not to kill him, and he was sold into slavery and ended up in Egypt. So then in Egypt, fast forward, he becomes a very important man in Egypt. My question with all of this is, when the brothers come to Joseph, they don't recognize Joseph, but they come because of the famine and they come to buy food. Why does Joseph feel still angry towards the brothers? You could say he was still holding a grudge, but although Joseph was a slave originally and imprisoned, he rose up and became the second highest ranking person in Egypt. He was the only person above Joseph was Pharaoh. So when you succeed, why hold any more grudges? God had him in that spot so that he could be there to interpret Pharaoh's dreams about the famine. I just don't understand why Joseph teased his brothers, and why specifically when he teased Benjamin, his younger brother, and teased might not be the best word, but he had his servants plant a silver goblet in Benjamin's bag when they left, and then framed him for it as collecting it. So why? I mean, was it all so that they could convince their father Jacob to come to Egypt to see their brother? I think if he had told them who he was and not hidden the fact that he was Joseph originally, they would have gone and gotten their father, and they would have told their father, and Jacob would have been ecstatic and would have come to Egypt to begin with. I don't get it. Am I the only one that's annoyed with Joseph in this part? Let me know down in the comments what you think, and what you think of this study so far. Yes, we just did Genesis, but next week we'll have Exodus. And I'd like to get a conversation going about the Bible and the book of Genesis to start out with. And I'd love to hear what you think about Cain's wife and what you think about Joseph's behavior towards his brothers. I'd love to start a conversation. You know, Bible studies are meant to be shared with people, so I'm sharing it with the internet. Let me know if you want more in-depth talks or if you want anything else. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow us through this, go ahead and hit subscribe down below. We would love to hear from you. This is a Bible study, but I'll also have some DIY and renovation videos coming as well. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week. And I'll be back next week talking about Exodus. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.